Minnesota Fighting Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer was down in Indianapolis at the Combine, and he talked recently about the status of unrestricted free agents superstar safety Anthony Harris and his potential future with the Vikings. And I came away from his comments not looking great. Yeah, but this is what he said, quote, I love Anthony. If he doesn't come back, I think he's earned everything he's got. But if you put up the positions most important on defense, it's probably not going to be safety, end quote. So this seems like a guy who is resigned the fact that number 41 is going to leave. And you notice how he sort of hedged his bet here, where obviously praised Anthony Harris, but also he talked about how safety isn't that important. Oh, Riri. You go ahead and tell Harrison Smith that safety isn't that important to your precious little defense. But either way, Zimmer would obviously know the status of contract negotiations, talking with Spielman, and I think that he gets the inkling that things aren't going great. I think the two sides are very far apart in terms of inking Anthony Harris up to a long-term deal before free agency starts in March. Vikings do have the lowest cap space in the league. They were like $13 million in the hole before Everson Griffin opted out of his deal, so that's not great. Anthony Harris is probably going to get top-tier safety money, deservedly so, at least $10 million a year per. And Zimmer never spins things. That's what you can always take away from Zimmer, is that you can always take him at face value. He never sugarcoats things. He never tries to put a political spin on things. So this is the talk of a man who's mentally preparing himself to lose a star player. And the problem is the rest of the safety group. So, with Harris, I could sort of see why the Vikings would be a little bit hesitant to extend him long term. Now, I don't agree with these, but I do see that Anthony Harris is going to be 29. Also, he has performed at a high level for the past 2 years, but also, how many more do you have ahead of yourself? Where in football, you're always paying for what the player is going to do as opposed to what they used to do. That's the baseball model, etc. Right? But you look at the rest of the safety group. I mean, Harrison Smith, one of the greatest safeties in franchise history, he's going to be on the wrong side of 30, and that's going to be that clock. Biological clock is ticking really fast, as well as, I mean, Jaron Curse, who played really great in spurts, basically alienated him. Doesn't sound like he's coming back, especially from the sound of his social media. And then what else do you have? Nothing. Nada. Yeah, you have nothing else there. So if they do let Anthony Harris walk, it's going to be an aging Harrison Smith. Jaron Curse is probably not going to be back. And then you're going to be dipping into free agency and the draft pool. So I don't know. If they do let Anthony Harris walk, safety becomes a first and foremost need for the Vikings, up there with cornerback, up there with offensive line, up there with defensive tackle help as well. But who knows? Maybe Mike Zimmer just sees this as a spot where he's obviously happy for the player, but also it's like, you think that you can do this without me? Please. And then that Mike Zimmer ego just goes out like, yeah, I can develop another UDFA into a Pro Bowl level safety. Sort of sees what's happening out here. But it from the sounds of things, it does not sound like the two sides are very close, which really sucks. But also this could be a spot too where Anthony Harris is allowed to test the free agency market, and maybe they find out that the safety market is a little bit more depressed. Because remember a couple years ago when like Kenny Vaccaro couldn't get a job, that's the market that Anthony Harris could see as well. Because other teams, they obviously know that Anthony Harris is legit. Past 2 seasons, he's been like a top 3 rated PFF safety, then also tied for the league lead in interceptions this last year. So I think that teams will understand the value and they will pay him, but also, I mean, maybe they just get together and sort of subconsciously just only offer him $8 million a year. Like maybe they'll cap his market. It's like, bro, if you're so good, how come you haven't been to a Pro Bowl? Even though all the nonsense with the Pro Bowl and all that stuff like that. I mean, it's possible. And if Anthony Harris can't get a better offer, does he circle back to the Vikings? And then do they find the cap space to give him an $8 million a year deal? I think that'd be a phenomenal situation, but I'm not exactly betting on that. I think if Anthony Harris does hit free agency, I think he'll be a very hot commodity, and I think he'll get snatched up for more than 8 figures per year. But your thoughts, Zimmer's comments on Anthony Harris at the Combine, let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, below some of the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time, Skol, production value.